What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with MMA community reacts to UFC 306 ticket prices. Recently, Dana White confirmed that the UFC 306 card would have two title fights, with Sean O'Malley looking to defend his title against Merab Dvalishvili in the main event, and Alexa Grasso looking to defend her title against Valentina Shevchenko in the co-main event. On Monday, tickets for the event became available for pre-sale, with the cheapest tickets priced at $3,000. And the most expensive tickets priced at $12,000. In response to the prices, the MMA community was quick to weigh in. One fan wrote, "As a Mexican, I can tell you right now, I don't know a single Mexican that can afford this." Another criticized the quality of the card, writing, "$3K for unranked fighters on the pay-per-view. Dana trippin'." One fan wrote, "I understand the spectacle, but at this price point, you're not getting actual fans in the building. You're getting people who will show up for the last two fights just to say they were there." Another compared the prices to the ticket prices for Canelo vs. Berlanga on the same night, writing, "The literal best seats for Canelo the same night are $2,005, LOL. Another wrote, "Just over the average mortgage payment. No biggie." With less fights than a normal UFC card, one fan wrote, "The card ain't worth the $3K, so save your money." One member of the MMA community criticized the UFC, writing, "For a garbage card? What the F has the UFC come to?" As one fan explained, 17 mil plus spent for a one and done event, and they purposely chose a date where it was a 95% plus chance that Canelo, the most popular Mexican fighter, would fight that weekend. Dana White, UFC, that's just dumb. And the cheapest ticket is $3K? Just sending fans over to T-Mobile. Once tickets are released to the general public, prices are likely to skyrocket thanks to the resale market. Next up, let's take a look at Sean O'Malley calls out Conor McGregor to fight. After being called out by Conor McGregor for PED usage back in May, Sean O'Malley now wants to settle things inside the octagon. During a recent episode of O'Malley's TimboSugarShow podcast on YouTube, the bantamweight champ called out McGregor, citing the height and reach discrepancy between the two as one of the main reasons he's confident he can beat McGregor in a fight.
I will chirp Conor because I do believe I could beat Conor in a fight. And I'm not just saying that. I think stylistically, I could beat Conor in a fight. Not an easy fight, I'm not saying, but I wouldn't call out somebody if I didn't think I could beat him in a fight. I think I'd beat Conor in a fight.
I mean, that's why.
I'm tall. Connor's 5'7". I'm 6'3".
You are taller than him. You are tall. I've been around him. I've seen him too.
He's thick, but he's short.
Yeah. And you hit.
It's not even. I mean, I don't think I'll just boom put him on one shot out. It's when you get hit three, boom, boom, boom.
As O'Malley also went on to explain, McGregor isn't known for having the best gas tank, which would play to his favor in a potential fight. From the sounds of things, his call-out divided the MMA community, with some of the mindset that O'Malley would win, and others of the mindset that McGregor's power would be too much. One fan wrote, "All Conor did was tweet a laughing emoji." Another member of the MMA community broke down the fight, writing, "Stylistically, it would be so much fun, but unfortunately, O'Malley's just way too small for Conor. We're never going to see Conor fight lower than 170 again, and the highest I see O'Malley fighting anytime soon is 145. Maybe 155 is a possibility in the future if he takes the time to focus and put the weight on slowly." The Better account also chimed in, writing, "Sugar chirping Conor is great for the sport." Another wrote, "Sugar beats Conor 9 fights out of 10. Sean has way better movement as far as striking and footwork. Sugar Sean MMA has my money in this one." As one fan pointed out, dude might not even beat Merab or Sandhagen, but he's out here calling out Conor and Ilya, LOL. So far, McGregor has yet to respond to O'Malley's call out. Next up, let's take a look at Kamaru Usman calls out Shavkat Rakhmonov. Following his dominant performance on Saturday against Leon Edwards, Belal Muhammad made it clear that he wants to fight the best of the best at 170 pounds. During a recent episode of he and Henry Cejudo's Pound for Pound podcast, Usman discussed the welterweight title picture, theorizing that the UFC will likely book Muhammad a fight with Shavkat Rakhmonov. Usman then played matchmaker, suggesting a fight between he and Jack Della Maddalena and a fight between Leon Edwards and Ian Gary. Despite that, Usman has his sights set on Shavkat Rakhmonov, and in a perfect world, he wants to fight the Nomad for the #1 contender spot.
I think those are all great fights. It is what it is. Of course, I don't mind. I don't shy away from any. I would like Shavkat. I would like JDM. It doesn't matter. For me right now, like I said, Henry, the most important thing is for me to get healthy. Once I'm healthy again, then I'll get in there because I truly know that I am still the best welterweight on the planet. And once I am healthy and I'm able to go out there and display that, I make magic happen.
With a mix of up-and-coming talent and seasoned veterans, there seems to be no shortage of exciting matchups in the welterweight division. Next, let's take a look at UFC fight updates. After an action-packed night of fights in Manchester, let's look at today's UFC fight updates, starting with a light heavyweight bout between Ovince St. Preux and Ryan Spann, scheduled for UFC Vegas 97 on September 7th. The fight will see St. Preux look to build on a March win over Kennedy Nzechukwu, while on the flip side, Spann will look to snap a 3-fight skid that most recently saw him finished by Bogdan Guskov in April. The following month, Chris Curtis and Kevin Holland are set to compete in a middleweight bout at UFC 307 on October 5th. The fight will see Curtis look to bounce back after an April loss to Brendan Allen, while on the flip side, Holland will look to build on a first-round submission win over Michael Oleszejczuk in June. Shifting gears and looking at the heavyweight division, former Olympian Robelis Despain will be looking to bounce back from the first loss of his professional career on October 19th, when he meets Austin Lane, who will be looking to snap a 2-fight skid that most recently saw him finished by Jonata Denise in April. Last but certainly not least in the way of UFC fight updates, Jamie Lynn Horth and Ivana Petrovic are scheduled to fight at an unnamed UFC event on November 2nd. The fight will see Horth look to bounce back from the first loss of her career in December, while on the flip side, Petrovic will be looking to build on a submission win over Na Liang back in April. Next, let's take a look at Brendan Schaub sends a message to Tom Aspinall. Following his first-round win over Curtis Blaydes on Saturday night, Tom Aspinall took the opportunity to politely call out Jon Jones during his post-fight Octagon interview with Daniel Cormier. Despite the successful interim title defense for Aspinall and the cries from fans, Dana White made it clear following the event that a bout between Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic is next. On Monday, during a recent video for his YouTube channel, Brendan Schaub sent a message to Aspinall, urging the interim champ to stand up for himself.
You're a goddamn 1%er. You gotta start acting like it. What I'm saying is stick up for yourself, dude. Because right now you're getting bullied. He's gonna be the alternate in the heavyweight division. Whenever have we seen an alternate be more talented than the two guys fighting? I'm not saying go against the UFC. I'm not saying talk to them. That's not the way to go. I'm saying stick up for yourself. You gotta have this marketing around you're the very best. John and Stipe ain't. I beat both of them the same night. I'll fight both of them right now.
As Schaub went on to explain, Aspinall's polite call-out isn't enough. Daniel Cormier expressed a similar sentiment on a recent episode of his Good Guy Bad Guy podcast while speaking with Chael Sonnen.
But I do know the best way to get a fight is to be disrespectful. Tom Aspinall's not that guy. In the octagon, I tried to tee Tom up to say something to Jon Jones to goad him into a fight.
While Aspinall has suggested a one-night tournament to decide the heavyweight champion, it sounds as though he's likely to sit on the sidelines until Jones and Miocic fight. Next, let's take a look at Alexander Volkanovski details another UFC 304 altercation. Prior to UFC 304, there was plenty of talk regarding the scuffle between Manel Kape and Muhammad Mokaev during Fight Week, as well as the pair's previous scuffle at the UFC PI. According to Alexander Volkanovski, however, there was another fight that happened at the Fighter Hotel after the event as well, with one of the individuals involved being a fighter. In a video for his YouTube channel, the former champion opened up on the situation, recalling how he tried to break the fight up. In addition, Volkanovski also revealed that he has no plans to name the fighter involved in the altercation.
I don't know if I should even bring it up. I don't know. Maybe I won't bring it up. Sorry guys, you're gonna hate me for that. Oh, you know what I will say? I won't say who was involved. I'll tell you a little bit. So there was a bit that happened in a lobby between two guys. Obviously a fighter. I don't know if the other guy was a fighter. I don't think it was a random, but stuff happened. There might have been a little punch thrown. The other guy trying to get to him, security trying to stop it. And even I'm just like, it's not worth it. You know, it's not worth the cops. So I'm trying to stop it. Guys stepping, getting around all the security guards. I'm like, oh, I might try and help. Steps around me as well. And I'm like, man, this guy's got some good movement. So he's going again, trying to tell him to chill out. Again, he's coming. I try to grab him. We almost run into the bottom of the stairs.
As Volkanovski went on to explain, he wound up on his knees, hanging onto the individual involved while trying to stop the fight. While so far it doesn't appear as though any footage has emerged, Volkanovski told fans to keep an eye out. Next up, let's take a look at George St-Pierre praises Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira has taken the UFC by storm, winning gold in 2 divisions while becoming one of the promotion's biggest pay-per-view stars. Following Pereira's recent win over Yuri Prohaska, George St-Pierre praised the champ as the best striker the light heavyweight division has ever seen, while speaking in a recent interview with Covers. Despite that, St-Pierre explained that he wants to see Pereira fight against a grappler rather than make the jump up to heavyweight.
I think Alex Pereira is the best striker the light heavyweight division has ever seen. He's just incredible. But the question is, how would he pair up against a guy who's more of a wrestler? A guy who's going to try to bring the fight to the ground? I think he needs to answer that before trying to go up in heavyweight, because in heavyweights, you have Aspinall, you have John Jones. These guys are very good wrestlers. They're very good strikers, but they're good wrestlers, so they can do it all. And we've seen Pereira doing incredible against guys who are willing to strike with him.
GSP may wind up getting his wish when Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev share the octagon. While Ankalaev has dubbed Pereira's striking as overrated and has claimed that he will outstrike the champ when they fight, as a standout wrestler, many are expecting the fight to go to the ground at some point. Leon Edwards reveals sad news. Leon's coach Dave Lavelle recently had an interview where he revealed that Leon went into the Belal fight with a back injury. Here's what he had to say.
But we had a few niggles in camp. His back was niggling him. So he couldn't wrestle the way he really needed to, offensively and defensively, because of the niggle that recurred about maybe 2-3 times. Very dubious, because these niggles was going on for about maybe five or so weeks, on and off. He had to go to a chiropractor, regular massages, but again, after one session, it was back to square one. So in the back part of my mind, I was thinking, well, should we go for this? But because he hadn't fought for so long, Leon said he wanted it, so we just pushed forward with the injury.
Here's some reactions. Belal Muhammad said, I smell... What happens to he's too small? What happened to he's too slow? What happened to boom headshot? Exactly, Team Edwards was super cocky coming into this and dismissive, which is disrespectful in the sport. Consider how many injuries fighters come in with. Staph, broken toes, even taking fights at short notice, like Belal did in the first fight as well. Excuses. I'm not going to make excuses. Proceeds to make excuses. Listen, I love Leon, but a bad back had nothing to do with him getting outstruck and backing up to the fence where Belal would shoot and instantly lock his hands for an easy takedown. Colby Covington goes off on Dustin Poirier. During a recent interview, Colby Covington detailed a recent altercation with Dustin. Colby claims to have punked Dustin. Here's what he had to say.
Crossed paths with him about 3 months ago at New NYY Steakhouse, Coconut Creek Casino, which is in the same gym, the same city that he trains at, the gym. And he came by the steakhouse and I looked at him eye to eye. I was like, what's up? It's on site. Say something, do something. And he just walked out of the restaurant because he knows you can talk big to the media. You can talk big in front of a camera. But when you're in front of someone's face and you feel their energy and you know what they're capable of, that's when it's a different story. Now you can't run your mouth. Now you can't do anything. If he wanted to do something, he could have done something. I stood up, I looked him right in the eyes, and he walked right out of the restaurant like a good little bit.
Top comments. Dana pandering to the Abu Dhabi royalty. I don't understand how supply and demand at its finest makes sense. Tom has been supplying KOs left, right, and center. We have all demanded a proper fight between the reigning champ and the interim champ to unify the belts. So please, someone, anyone, please make sense of John's tweet to me. What I don't understand is Dana White won't allow a British fight card on British time, but Abu Dhabi gets to fight on their time. Max definitely should have been on the Sphere. Stipe who? UFC needs to stop effing around and book Tom Aspinall versus John Jones. At least this fight wouldn't be boring to watch.